the desert of the real.
Welcome to the Desert of the Real.
The Real.
I am your host, Ryan Hudson. Joined with me, as always, is your other host,
Jason Dietz.
The Desert of the Real is a movie podcast where I force Jason to watch the big blockbuster movies he's refused to watch because he didn't think they were worth his time.
We're currently going through the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh, we're doing it together now.
I don't know. It's right there.
We are two high school English teachers. We also teach film, philosophy, creativity. We have graduate degrees. And we use our academic training to dig deeply into movies. We explore the creativity, philosophy, film studies, and ethics of our films and push you, the listener, to think critically about your entertainment.
That is all true.
You are here. You're a critical thinker. Welcome to the desert.
Welcome.
We are in a special location today.
Yes.
We are in Jason's house.
Where all the magic happens. It
Yeah.
doesn't happen at school.
How many kids do you have?
6.
And they are all moving a couch.
So if there are any bangings in the background, that's my kids moving a couch.
But one of them made chocolate cake, which was pretty yummy.
Yeah. This is literally, I think, either the 4th or the 5th couch
Yeah.
that we have moved into the basement.
That's a lot. Wait, like...
I don't know. I have no idea why. None whatsoever.
But they are having a lot of fun, it
They
sounds
are.
like.
So, as long as they're having fun, that's what matters.
That's what matters.
So what movie did we watch, Ryan?
We watched Ant-Man and the Wasp.
We did, unfortunately, watch that.
The follow-up of Infinity War.
It is? Oh,
Yeah.
the movie after.
The movie.
Infinity. Got it.
I mean, it's hard to... anything to follow up Infinity War. But...
Except for Endgame.
yeah, I mean,
apparently.
Endgame, but yeah, there's 2 movies in between.
Yeah, for some reason.
You did not like this movie.
No.
I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And you're going to tell us why you don't like it. I mean, eventually.
I was thinking about holding that in, but I think I'll let it out.
You gave it 1.5 stars on
did.
Letterboxd.
This is, like, my least favorite was The Incredible Hulk, then Iron Man. This is right above Iron Man.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think this is better than the first Ant-Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that we really enjoy about our podcast is people can have opinions and sometimes they're wrong. So, yeah.
Unfortunately, people have to have opinions about stuff sometimes.
Yeah, it's true.
You gave us, I mean, the listener doesn't need to know this, but they might as well know. We've already recorded this. This is take 2.
This is take 2.
But you gave a record short summary. Even though, I mean,
I was interrupted rudely multiple times.
there are people who I talk to who listen to the show that like your long summaries.
There are a lot of people actually that like my long,
really?
snarky summaries.
By all means,
No.
you can extend it this time.
No.
I mean, that's why we have take 2s.
Yeah, sure.
You did do it in 1 minute.
I did. Because you keep complaining about it.
You were like, this happens for some reason. Like, the movie tells us why it happens.
Doesn't really. Anyhow, so yeah, you want
Take
me
it
to hit
away.
the summary? Okay,
Make
you
it
got
as
it.
snarky as you want.
No, okay, I might. All right, so Ant-Man is a moron. He could not figure out for 2 years, stuck in his house on house arrest, that he could put on the suit and sneak out whenever he wanted to. Anyhow, so that's how the movie opens. He's dumb. And then Hank Pym and his daughter Hope, the Wasp, finally succeed in opening the portal just very briefly to the quantum realm, which of course causes Ant-Man to have a dream about stuff. His wife, Hank Pym's wife. So then Hank Pym comes and they get him and they have various fights, and you know, we apparently need to have 800 bad guys in the movie. So we have the Ghost, we have the FBI, they're the bad guys. We have the moron, the southern guy. I don't even know what his name is.
Well, I have it here. His name is Sonny Birch.
Oh, yes.
He's played by Walton Goggins.
Walton Goggins.
Which is
a great name.
Great name.
Yeah. So, yeah, this guy wants the tech. And they all of the things in this movie that have to happen right now. For some reason, this is one of my main cons, actually. Everything is time crucial. Even though all of the things that are happening in this movie have been available to happen for years to decades, it's got to be right now. Anyhow,
okay, hold
on. What?
Never mind.
Interruption 1. Go.
No, take it away.
No, it's too late. We're
going.
Interrupted.
I mean,
I'm not saying anything else.
One of my complaints about a lot of these later Marvel movies is, for some reason, they all take place in a day or 2 days or something.
Sure.
And this is no exception.
Right.
There could be excuses like, why do we need to do this right now? But makes it more exciting.
No, it sure didn't.
It's called...
No.
It's called dramatic action.
Oh, yes. It's
to...
called the failure of dramatic action in this case. Anyhow, so there's lots of battles between various people, which were actually super cool. One of the main things I loved about this movie was... Hang on. I cannot say I loved.
You just said
I
love.
didn't know. Okay, I did. I'll admit. Okay, one of the main / only things I loved about this movie were the big smallness and the battles that all involved the shrinkingness. Anyhow, there's lots of shrinking, lots of bigifying, and finally they open the portal to the quantum realm, and Hank Pym goes in and saves his wife, who's been by herself in an alien world for 30 years and is not somehow completely batcrap crazy. The end.
The end.
Oh, and they make out. The end. Multiple times, actually.
They make out?
Mm-hmm.
Because they had to do the same thing from the first movie.
Yeah, no,
it's in a different way, which is kind of fun.
Michael Pena is awesome in this movie. He's one of the other very few positives. So there you go. That's Ant-Man and the Wasp.
That's Ant-Man and the Wasp. That's all there is to say about this movie.
Okay, well, we're done.
We're done.
Oh,
all right.
I'm gonna get some cake. Oh,
you already had cake.
We're not.
I'm looking at the cake.
I thought we were done. Okay, my bad. So, pros, visually very awesome.
Yeah, I think the best part of this movie.
Yeah, I would agree.
Is
we agree.
We agree. The shrinking, the growing, it's fun and it's usually entertaining.
Really cool. It is.
He gets stuck being big. He gets stuck being small. I think there's some fun jokes used when he's small. Like, do you remember when he's walking down the hall and the teacher's like, "Hey, where's your hall pass?" Yeah. And he runs away, and the teacher's like, "Hey, come back." Oh well.
Yes.
And as teachers,
I feel that.
Yeah, you just got to choose your battle sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, is this worth? How much energy is this fight worth?
How much of my relationship do I want to sacrifice for this? That's usually my calculus.
That's funny.
Anyhow, yeah. So the shrinking stuff was great.
Yeah.
And like I said, visually, that was my front door opening. Visually, the visualness of this is really good.
There's a giant Pez, giant salt shaker.
That was one of my favorite quotes. You got Pez. That's Michael Pena.
I think this movie's pretty funny. And you didn't think it was that funny.
I thought Michael Pena was very funny.
Paul Rudd has a writing credit on this movie. How much writing down did he do? Was it maybe all ad-lib or whatever? I don't know, but I think a lot of his comedic timing comes from being...
Or lack thereof.
No, his comedic timing, being Scott Lang, comes through. I think he's got a lot of fun moments.
Okay. Elucidate.
He sees his little desk. It's like, how come I get the small desk?
You got this out of the dumpster.
Yeah, it's like, how come you cheaped out on my desk? Stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Doing close-up magic, which brings me to Randall Park, which I thought once again was so funny. Like, how'd you do that? He's doing the trick in his office. Can you knock?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so because I don't know if you will watch WandaVision, but Randall Park's character, for whatever reason, is in WandaVision.
Oh, okay.
And I just love his character, and I love that we got to see a little bit more of him in that other
It's just
thing.
pretty static. Like, his jokes are predictable.
Oh, he says, "What the dickens?"
What the dickens?
I think everyone should say, "What the dickens?"
What the dickens?
Which-
There, I said it.
I believe is a Shakespeare quote.
Is it?
I think so. But I think more people
That'd
should
be
say
interesting
it.
because then it isn't referring to Charles Dickens,
I don't know.
who was several centuries later than William Shakespeare. But that's interesting.
Okay, and then like we were just talking about in the first movie, there's like the bit that really stands out when Michael Pena is doing his story,
Yeah.
and you see people acting it out.
Yeah.
And this movie brings it back in a different way.
Yeah.
And
So good.
It's fun. It's
Yep.
always fun. And the truth serum bit. Did you like the truth
I
serum
loved
bit?
the truth serum bit.
It is a truth serum.
Yeah, at the very end.
We're into his melancholy ballads. You know how we are.
Who puts plates on the top right?
I hate how you load the dishwasher.
Yeah, Michael Pena is definitely the highlight in terms of like enjoyability of the characters.
Yeah.
He's
And
my-
Randall Park
he's my-
and
no.
Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
The original Ant-Man is Hank Pym
Yes.
in the comic books, and in this series it's not Hank Pym as the Ant-Man because we already have a genius scientist in Tony,
Right.
or in Doctor Strange, or in Bruce Banner. So they switched angles
Except for
to
they
Scott
screwed
Lang.
Bruce Banner up.
Yeah, I don't know, whatevs. We'll see what you think in Endgame. You know what I mean, listeners?
They better fix
I
him.
don't know how he'll react to it.
Better.
And then, I mean, we don't have our Fantastic Four yet, but then again, it's Mr. Fantastic is a
Another
brilliant.
genius scientist.
Except for the difference between Mr. Fantastic and Tony Stark is Mr. Fantastic isn't like
A
arrogant.
jerk.
Yeah, he's cool. That's what the movies got wrong, by the way. Those early 2000 movies is Mr. Fantastic is cool. He's not a nerdy loser guy. He's a cool guy. He's like someone you like to be around. Anyway, whatever. Those movies, especially the first one's like, oh wow, how can you score a woman like Jessica Alba? You know what I mean?
Oh. So you think Paul Rudd
It's
we
funny.
we agree on Michael Pena. I think like in terms of acting chops, Evangeline Lilly carries this movie in terms of acting. Michael Douglas phones in his performance.
So you say
Like rewatch his lines. He's just delivering lines. He's not acting. And then Lawrence Fishburne, it might have been just he had a crappy character, but he basically doesn't, like, he plays it like this shy, timid.
I don't think he's
like,
shy and timid.
Well, there's this one scene right at the end when he's with the ghost.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of hiding behind this pillar or something.
I don't know.
Anyhow,
He doesn't have a lot to do. You're
he's
right.
a big guy.
And the
You
thing
need
is,
to be-
they're setting up with Ghost a movie that hasn't, at time of recording, that's not come out yet.
yeah.
The Thunderbolts, which is like a team of not really good guys, kind of like, I don't know, bad-ish guys, I guess.
Anti-hero.
Anti-heroes. Ben Ghost is part of that. But Lawrence Fishburne isn't in that movie, so I feel like that setup
well, he's
isn't...
not really in this one either.
All right, fine. Why not?
I'm just saying.
He doesn't have a lot. You're right. It's frustrating. He's not.
But
And
that's what the frustrating thing for me is this movie has massive names in terms of acting.
Michelle
And
Pfeiffer, did you know she was in this
I
movie?
did not.
Were you like, that's Michelle Pfeiffer? Look
I
at that.
recognized her when
Yeah.
she showed up in the dream. I'm like, yeah.
Because they didn't show her face on purpose in the first one so they could get a big name in this one.
Cool.
Oh, actually,
But she doesn't do anything either.
no, she doesn't.
So
All
why,
right.
like, why are they paying for all of these people that they don't use?
I don't know. I think people kind of want in, and I think they have a good time making these movies.
So it's just like, I want a cameo or something.
I
or
mean,
a little more than a cameo, but
I think maybe money, but that's maybe the cynical look at it. But I think to some extent they like to be in a big movie that almost everyone's gonna see. I don't know.
maybe.
I just know there have been a number of actors that said, "No, I had a good time making these movies."
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Yeah. But even though this movie was not seen by nearly as many people that saw Infinity War,
Right.
people are like, I don't know if I need to see that one. I'll wait till the Endgame one.
Yeah,
But
I would have too. I wish I had.
they have de-aging in this movie. So
they de-aged Michael Douglas.
and Michelle Pfeiffer
Yeah.
get de-aged. So what year did this come out? Was this 2018?
2018.
We are not at deep fake yet, where a computer can learn using AI. So someone is going in manually to de-age their features. Wow. So we talked about with Thanos.
It looks a lot better than when they did it to Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, look, literally, you can see them getting better. In the next movie, Captain Marvel, there's actually a great de-age effect. Arguably still up there for one of the best yet. Maybe not. Then there's different things like, did you see Gemini Man with Will Smith? So
No, I don't think so.
That's another de-aging.
Oh, I did. Yes. Yeah, I did.
And
that was terrible.
How they did that de-aging
was
effect
horrible.
is different than how they did this movie. And like deep fakes is a different thing. So someone's going in and making them younger. But what they learned sometime around Thanos is it's all about the pores. It's like lips stretching, and the animation around lips before it looked like rubber stretching. The skin doesn't move that way. So you can see almost in real time with these movies the technology getting better, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it was significantly better.
But then you get to something like Indiana Jones 5, where like the first 20 minutes is young Harrison Ford, and I don't know if it's that great though.
I haven't seen it.
I know we'll get to Indiana Jones eventually, but
Will we?
I just want to see your surprised look. But yeah, we will.
No, I would love the first couple Indiana Joneses. So those are all my pros. The True Serum.
The True Serum bit, yeah.
The really visually cool Michael Pena, Evangeline Lilly.
Yeah.
And the science, it's like the core scientific idea is awesome.
Uh-huh.
All the bull crap that they threw on top of it really like just pissed me off. But
Yeah.
like the core idea that there's so much space inside an atom that there could literally be an entire universe inside an atom is awesome.
Yeah.
It's legit, and I've thought a lot about that actually.
Well,
So that part I really like.
CGP Grey has a video where it starts out with like a piece of paper, and it's like if you fold the piece of paper again, then again, then
Right,
again,
right.
then again, then again, and it goes all the way down to atoms, then molecules into atoms and all these things, and it's super interesting. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's interesting going small. Then he does the reverse, where it's if you paper outfold like Earth, like solar system, and it's so cool both ways.
Yeah.
It's
Because there's parity between the universe and like the atom. Like there's like equivalencies that are really interesting.
So this is a little bit into the fun fact of the reel, but there is a shot in this movie where you see a city in the background in the quantum verse or whatever it's
really?
called. Yeah,
The quantum realm.
the quantum
obviously.
realm. Yeah, there's a city.
Cool.
So I don't know, stuff's going on down there.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Yeah, it's like a Easter egg.
Oh, only if you know.
Yeah, it's there if you know what I mean? Oh, since we're here at the Easter egg of the reel, or they're in the background in the laboratory, there are giant AA batteries.
Okay.
Which it's kind of just a fun idea. And you don't see them up close. It's kind of like a blink and you miss it type of thing too.
Oh, I missed
like
it.
growing batteries to power this lab, which is a lot of fun.
That is a lot of fun.
Oh,
Sure.
I think this movie looks pretty good.
Yeah.
There's a man named Dante Spinotti. I don't know how to say his last name.
One of those probably.
This, to my knowledge, is his
I
only...
think they call him the S-Man.
This is the only superhero movie he's done. He's done a couple big things, like he did that Dwayne Johnson Hercules movie. It doesn't matter. But he did Heat. He did movies that are like known for looking good. And he did this movie for some reason. There was a shot in this movie where I'm like, this looks pretty good. Like the lighting, the coloring. But then like there are some things outside that don't look as good.
Right.
The flat gray look that Marvel does for some reason.
Yeah. And then there's the Quantum Realm, which looks amazing.
Yeah, I mean...
But that's all CGI.
Yeah.
So.
But, I mean, should we poo-poo all CGI?
No, I thought it was gorgeous.
I think it looks really cool.
Yeah, I really did.
This is like, we've mentioned how a lot of these movies might be influenced by criticisms. Like, oh, why are they looking dull? Well, here's Doctor Strange with colorful sequences of magic.
Right. Here's
Guardians 2 with color. And now here's like these scenes in the quantum realm that are super visual.
Yeah.
Like what are those little
tardigrades?
What are those things called with the legs? Like it's going to...
The tardigrade.
Is that what that is?
The big fat wormy look. Yeah. When they made sounds on my closed caption, it says tardigrade.
Oh really?
It makes sound.
That's awesome. So. Anyway, it looks cool.
Yeah. It does.
And it's shot in San Francisco, which I went to for the first time not too long ago. So
I've been there several times.
Do you like San Francisco?
I mean, not as much as San Diego.
San Diego's better. The different sand.
Yeah.
I've never been to San Diego.
I love San Diego.
But it's kind of cool once you've been there and you see like the hills.
Yeah. Oh, I've been on that street. Yeah.
What's the pier called?
49.
Pier 49?
I think so.
Because I stood where they shot the scene with Giant Man.
Yeah.
And that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
They go to the Muir Woods.
Yeah.
I've been there. Anyway, a lot of movies are filmed in San Francisco. And if you're from there, it's... You're whatever. Or you're like, yeah, obviously this is the best state ever. So... Okay, something I like that you did not like, which needs to be addressed, is fake science fiction jargon is good, actually.
It
and we should have fake mumbo-jumbo science fiction-y stuff in our dialogue, because that's fun.
I 100% disagree.
And you like Star Trek, so...
They don't have fake mumbo-jumbo jargony crap.
Yes, they do.
Like what?
Like warp speed.
That's a thing.
Set phasers to stun.
Phasers are a thing.
Okay, in theory.
Right.
The quantum realm's a thing. Just joking.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, people don't like it that are on your team, but I think we should
the one person on my team.
We should embrace when movies use fake mumbo-jumbo science fiction stuff.
So let me take a drink out of my quantum cup and prepare for the next quantum phase of this quantum
and you
podcast.
like Doctor Who. Doctor Who has a bunch of that stuff.
That's fair. That does have a bunch of that stuff.
I just have some funny lines.
Hit us.
Oh, like when they're in disguise, and he points it out. Like, we look like us in a baseball game. Which is poking fun at Winter Soldier when Captain America disguises himself that way. Where is she hiding? In a wardrobe? No, in a tall dresser. That's a wardrobe.
Right, see that?
What if they said armoire? Remember that?
Armoire.
Only true fans remember the armoire discussion.
See, those lines are not funny to me. They just illustrate he's dumb.
Almost every line Randall Park says, I think, made me laugh. It's like, what? Do you want to get dinner sometime?
Yeah. Like that.
That's good.
Okay, but that whole exchange needed to end like 30 seconds before it ended because everyone knew what joke was coming. And like that just illustrates why I didn't really like the humor.
All right.
Other than Michael Pena.
I think it's fun.
I know you do.
And I said
you're easily pleased.
I am, but
I'm a more discerning, demanding type. I just don't like things. Quantum things. I don't like quantum things.
So okay, I said in a previous episode my favorite Stan Lee cameo is from one of the Amazing Spider-Man movies, which is fun. But this one actually might be my favorite. When they're in the car
enjoyed
chase.
the 60s.
The
Now I'm paying for it.
60s were fun, but now I'm paying for it. That one actually might be my favorite out of every single cameo he's ever done.
Cool. Yeah.
My wife wanted to point out this is the best the Wasp's hair looks in any of her movies. Because it's short in the first, it's short in the third, it's long in this one. And my wife just, before she fell asleep, said, this is the best she looks.
Cool.
We should note this is the first female Marvel superhero movie in a title. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Cool.
But the main other thing I wanted to point out.
2018, huh?
Yeah. 20 movies in.
Way to go, Marvel.
We did it.
Yeah, good job, Disney.
We ended sexism. I just one more fun fact of the reel is the Wasp is traditionally a mutant, like an X-Men, and one of the original members of the Avengers. And like,
how many original members were there? A lot.
There's-
It seems like you've said that multiple times.
okay, it's Iron Man, Ant-Man, Hulk, Thor,
and the
and Wasp. See, it's like those peeps.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. So the fact that they don't play a big role in anything else is contra comic.
Yeah, I kind of think my personal opinion is in the like 40s and 50s. There's a bunch of movies where people shrank.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
there were.
that just influenced these
The
specific
bigness of them.
heroes.
Well, that was the atomic scare, and we didn't know
Right.
what would happen if
Yeah.
this thing happened and whatever. Yeah, there's a ton of especially big insect movies
Yeah,
that are a lot of fun.
it was just a thing, and it's not a thing. But now Ant-Man, you can see Ant-Man and the Wasp at like Disneyland. You know,
Cool.
they're walking.
Do they
around.
shrink?
I don't think so.
Oh,
Oh, I know what's funny. Speaking of, I just remembered this because I've been to California Adventure once. There's a restaurant you can go, and you see things going on a conveyor belt into this like box. It gets shrunk, and then a small version comes out the other side.
Oh, cool.
It's just a fun little gag they have there.
that's cool.
Anyway, so the one thing I wanted to highlight, because I thought it stood out in this movie, is the stunt work. The Wasp has this big fight with these guys. And usually when it's a team of guys like that, they're nameless, whatever. Those are the stunt team. There's usually like a stunt director, stunt choreographer, or choreographer, or whatever. He's in charge of all the stunts for the most part. And they usually have a team. And stunts kind of get ignored in film. Like, there's not like a category in the Oscars.
Right.
Even though the last Oscars, they had like, hey, let's have a video montage of stunts, you know? And the Fall Guy that just came out is a tribute to
Homage,
stunt work.
yeah.
And stunt work's been around since, Buster Keaton and things.
Right.
It's been huge in film. But I think, they should be appreciated. They are artists in their own work. I thought they were really, you can tell them throwing themselves or getting punched by Wasp and things. Yeah. I thought it was good. I've shown my film class like Spider-Man 2 before, and there's a scene where Spider-Man thinks he has his powers back, and he jumps and he falls, lands on a car, lands on the ground, and I like rewatched that. I'm like, guys, someone did that.
Yeah.
He clearly has a pad. The car might be padded. The ground's obviously padded, but it still probably hurt. Like these people are doing things that could hurt themselves.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think they need a shout out. So
Yeah, for sure.
appreciate the stunt work and stuff.
I did also, yeah. It's part of the visual coolness of the movie.
Let's get into your cons, and then we'll get to the philosophy and ethics and film studies of it.
Yeah. Okay, so I had a lot, but
Take it away.
I'm trying to organize this. Okay, so the thing that annoyed me the most was they're artificially trying to create tension
Yeah.
all the way through this movie.
Yeah.
I mentioned it in my, very short and accurate summary at the start of this episode. But like these things have been here. Like
Right.
the guy that wants to steal the build, whatever, what is it? The lab. why right in this 24-hour period is it crucial for him to have it? Or the ghost. She's been, whatever she's doing her whole life. Yeah. Why right this second? Or,
I think
what's her face has been in the quantum realm for 30 years. Why right this second? And so all throughout this movie, it's like, we only have 15 minutes. Oh, we got to do this in the next 3 seconds or else blah, whatever. Yeah. It's not effective because it's like you can't hold that level of tension artificially for an entire movie, and that I felt like they tried to do it.
I see that. I think Ghost is the worst of all those, because why now?
Right.
But I don't know, they make excuses like why things need to be done right this second. But you're right, I guess. But also Michelle Pfeiffer's character's been stuck. They finally get a message from her, and it's like, let's rescue her. We've been waiting 20 years. Let's do
30.
30?
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. It's like, let's save her now.
Okay,
but you're not wrong.
That one I can get because we're excited. We finally, this person we thought was dead is maybe not dead. Yeah. That one makes sense. But they just kept even like little dumb things. They just made them. They tried to make them tens. So
do you ever watch the pitch meetings on YouTube?
No,
I know you don't, but that was setting up one of my favorite jokes that they do in that. It's like, why does this happen so the movie can happen?
Yeah, but in this case it didn't feel like that it was necessary.
Well, I guess, I mean,
why the ghost doesn't have to be dying in the next 3 days.
Yeah. They
could have just, it hurts a lot for her to do what she's doing.
Yeah.
She's over it. She wants to fix. Why does it have to be in the next 48 hours or you're going to die?
You're right. It is to create tension.
Well, it failed. It overdid it. Way overdid it.
Here's the thing, though. It's smaller stakes, which is nice. It's not the world. It's just these people in one city.
Right.
So it is nice that it's died down. But, two, it's also kind of fun, especially at the end hour, where this movie is long.
It is.
I'll give you that. It should have been an hour and a half.
Crap.
It'd have been nice if it was a brisk 90 minutes. You're not wrong there. When everyone's in different places, like, oh, we need to go here, and I can't grow big until they make the building big, and that can happen because these people are after it, and that guy also wants to. It just is fun, I guess. It's just, I'm not totally against you though.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. So the first time we meet Goggins, they're going to get this piece of whatever technology.
Yeah.
And they're surprised that their quantum elevator or whatever it is didn't work without it. So they go and they get it. And then she puts it into the machine.
Yeah.
There's very clearly a slot there where that goes. And there's very clearly buttons. And I'm like at that was the moment where I'm like, this movie sucks.
That is so funny.
And they're like, oh, I don't know why it didn't work. There's a freaking slot the size of your head where something goes, and then anyhow.
That's so funny. I never even
registered. I know, because
it doesn't matter. Am I right? Critical thinkers?
No, it matters. Oh, God.
That's what we call a nitpick.
No, that's so stupid. And then the quantum, even Ant-Man, says it. Do you guys just put the word quantum in front of everything? Yeah, literally, that's what they do.
Yeah.
So, what is his wife's name? The wife.
Oh, Michelle Pfeiffer's character, Janet.
Janet?
Janet.
Okay, I didn't know that. Anyhow, when, my least favorite line in the whole thing is they're talking about some bullcrap science something. And one of them says she's been down there for more than 30 years absorbing quantum energy. What?
Yeah.
What? And so
you're not wrong when the ghost is like, I'm in pain, and she's like, let me use whatever this is.
Yeah. So all of the core scientific idea is really cool. And then they threw all of this other garbage on top of it for some reason. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Also, can you please explain to me why the Ghost, Pym, and the Wasp can't just work together? Because that whole fight between them the whole time seemed completely unnecessary. Because she just had to roll in and say, hey, I know you're working on this thing. I need some help. What can I do to help you?
I think that was just a lack. They didn't know what their goals were. It was like, oh, here's a ghost person beating us up. We don't like that.
But then at some point they were like, oh, you got quantumed by the quantum powers. We're trying to get the quantum realm to open so we can dequantum our quantum ness.
That's exactly how it went.
Yeah. And then I feel like they quantumly should have quantumed together instead of just fighting and causing all of this issue. So to me, the ghosts, not the presence, because like the character and the concept is really cool. Yeah. But her being an antagonist in this movie didn't make any sense to me because she needs them. She obviously... Larry Fishburne is not cutting it. He did his best. She needs them. Why is she fighting them?
She had them tied up. And then there's actually another part I thought was funny. It's like, she said, SOS, it's an emergency. Let me go on their FaceTime. Where are my shoes? Oh, sorry. She said it was an emergency. Yeah. Well, I forget why don't they team up there?
I couldn't tell you. Because after the initial battle and once they figured out who was who, I have no idea.
I think Hank Pym want to save his wife first and Ghost was like, no, me first? I don't remember. I'm not going to lie. I watched it last night and I don't remember that.
It didn't make sense at all.
Conversation.
Janet not being totally insane after 30 years by herself is...
Well, maybe you don't know what the quantum realm was like.
That's true. Maybe she was. Why would she want to leave then if it was so great? Anyhow, at that point I was like, well, who cares? And then the other, to me, very annoying part is Ant-Man is pretty dumb, right? Like his IQ is probably not that high, right?
Sure.
Okay, so all through the movie, like almost all of the jokes are, no, it was a tall dresser, like you said. Like just illustrating that he's not that bright. And then he needs to break them out of the FBI headquarters, and all of a sudden he's a genius, and he figures out how to get this in place and that in place and do this, and then as soon as they're out, he goes back to being an idiot. So that was dumb.
He is a criminal. That's what he was known for. He knows how to...
Yeah.
I don't know.
That was dumb.
This movie is not top tier.
No.
In fact, it's kind of forgettable.
Yes.
When you watch it, you're like, this is a good time.
No.
I'm having fun
And
here.
I didn't have fun. I have fun at parts.
Yeah.
Like, the visual stuff was really good.
Yeah.
And as you said, the stunt work was really good.
Yeah.
Those are my negatives.
Oh, here's something. I don't know. Tell me if you think this means something. Where the ghost sleeps at night in that glass cage.
Yeah.
Those are like glass panels for like a lighthouse.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's like, does that mean something? I Googled it and nothing came up.
I don't know what she's doing in there. I don't know what the ruby rays are.
Okay.
I mean, they're clearly not quantum ruby rays, or she would have gotten fixed. Maybe they needed the quantum lighthouse panels. That would have fixed it.
I don't know if it's just maybe they look cool. I don't know if there's anything there. But
I don't know.
Okay, so for film studies of the real, I don't think this movie's crazy deep. But you can always find meaning in movies.
Sure.
Okay. So I go over this with my students in my film class because I don't know if this is shocking news, but a lot of teenagers don't analyze movies. And the whole point of this podcast is digging deeper, thinking critically. And here is something
about your entertainment.
Analysis of art, any art, can begin and end with the following 2 steps. So if you're like, how do I start thinking deeper about these movies? These are the 2 steps.
Cool.
Step 1, look at it. And describe what you're looking at.
Okay.
Literally, what are you seeing, like in the movie, in a painting, or if it's a song, whatever. But step 2 is ask why.
Why is my favorite question.
So that's technically all you need to know about analysis. What are you seeing? What is happening? What is it? And why?
Yeah.
Why did the author choose to do this? Why did the director choose to do that? And I always go this. I'm like, what do you see? And
So this is the Scream, the painting.
like, what else do you see?
Yeah.
And then my students are like, oh, there's 2 people, there's a pond. And they're like, but why? And then we do it. It's kind of fun.
I love why.
Artists can give meaning, but we also have meaning.
Yeah.
We can totally say the artist is wrong about their own work. Do you agree with that?
Well, we can take the end of Inception as an example. Chris Nolan is 100% wrong. So, yes, I agree.
My go-to example is King Kong. Critics are like, this is obviously a metaphor for slavery in America. And the director is like, I just wanted to tell a movie about a giant monkey.
Right.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I don't... you have to be able to back up what you
Exactly.
say that it means, but yeah.
So, you're right. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to attempt to look at something, and then, I don't know, maybe I'll need your help to say, like, why.
Okay.
So, we didn't talk about this, but it's sometimes a big criticism for Infinity War is how Thanos treats his children, and how it could be taken, like, if someone grew up in an abusive house, imagine them seeing this character abusing his children.
Yeah.
And some people have criticized Infinity War, saying that's tonally deaf. Like, think about how a child would feel seeing this on screen, sitting next to potentially someone who abuses them at home type of thing. So, and yeah, Thanos is a bad guy. We talk about it a lot in the last 2 episodes.
Yes,
the whole
we
movie.
did.
I wanted to point out, I think this movie has a good thing where the stepdad, who was kind of like a mini antagonist in the first Ant-Man, is just a good guy.
Yeah.
He calls Paul Rudd buddy, and he clearly is willing to accept him into the family. An example of a good stepdad. There are good stepdads.
Yeah.
But I was trying to find something here, and I noticed there are 3 father-daughter relationships in this movie.
Sure.
And I think that's on purpose, and I think that's at the crux of the heart of this movie. So that's me doing step 1. We're looking at it.
We see the parent-child.
There's obviously Ant-Man and his daughter.
Yeah.
The movie starts with them playing. They have a heart-to-heart near the end where he's like, doesn't think he can do it, and she's like,
You're the world's greatest grandma.
See, another good bit. This
that was cute.
Great bit. And there's that relationship. Then there's obviously Hank Pym and his daughter working together to save the mom. And then there's Lawrence Fishburne and Ghost, because that he raised her and he's helping her at the end. It's like, I'm with you till the end. Every single relationship has this, or not? Yeah,
true.
Every relationship has this ending. They're all, I guess, foils for one another. For the most part.
And they're all positive for the most part.
Positive.
Yeah, I hadn't noticed that. That's a good take.
I think there's something there. So now we're asking why. It's like...
To make up for Thanos?
No, not to take up for Thanos. I'm just saying juxtaposed to Thanos.
Yeah, sure.
But because once again, this movie's not crazy deep. But I think at its heart, it's trying to say being a father or fatherly is what makes you a hero in the end.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you're old, if you're young, if they're not even related to you.
Yeah, I believe that.
That is what these 3 men have in common.
That's a good take.
That's literally, maybe
That's
to dunk on this movie is the deepest thing I can find, but there you go.
Yeah, that actually... Maybe I like this movie a little more. Honestly, because fathers... generally in cinema just get crapped on
Yeah.
all everywhere. So yeah, That's a good take. I agree.
Well, thanks. I once again didn't. This is maybe my third time seeing this movie ever. We're eventually going to get to the point where I've only seen them one time now.
Oh, well. I can't imagine wanting to watch this more than once.
But I'm like, this, I didn't notice it until I was trying to find something
deep.
Yeah.
See? So, listener, that is how it works. That's how these tools work. And now this movie is a little bit, it's like, it's now not, a 27 out of 100. Now it's like a 31 out of 100.
We of course
still a hard F, but
we do not endorse rating movies out of 100.
Philosophically,
Yeah.
what is the nature of reality is a huge philosophical question. Identity is another huge philosophical question. So this movie dabbles in both of those. I've already mentioned, I think both of them, but like the whole world within a world as we get larger and smaller.
Yeah.
That is definitely an interesting answer to what is the nature of reality.
Yeah.
It's just we are at this level. There's infinite levels above us, infinite levels below us, and we just happen to be living here. Mm-hmm. That's a really cool concept that I feel like this movie pooped all over, but and then there is a cool moment where Janet takes over Ant-Man's body.
That is fun.
Well, it philosophically, I thought it was funny.
Sure.
It was kind of funny.
Tell me the philosophical
Philosophically, it's really interesting because who are you is another one of the philosophical questions. So in that moment, who was that?
Oh, interesting.
So physically, it was still Ant-Man, which is why it's quote unquote funny, some of the things that he does. But
holding hands, and
right, and
calling her
peanut or jelly bean or whatever. But intellectually, that was not Ant-Man. So who was it? And that's that pause that's philosophy happening.
Oh, nice.
Right there.
Can I tell you about something that happens in a different movie we're not going to watch?
Sure.
In Wonder Woman 2.
That's not part of the...
No, that's DC.
Oh, okay.
The bad guy is a man who makes wishes. That's his power. You can make a wish.
So how did he lose?
I don't remember. It doesn't matter. Wonder Woman...
I wish I would win always. The end of the movie.
Wonder Woman wishes for Chris Pine's character to come back. So this movie makes the insane choice to have Chris Pine's psyche enter a different man's body.
Yeah.
And Wonder Woman just sees Chris Pine instead of this other man the rest of the movie. And this is a movie where people wish for like a wall around a city and it just magically happens.
Right.
But the movie is like, let's not have him magically appear. Let's have him enter another man's body. And a lot of people pointed that. This is not just me, but it's like, what happened to this guy? Like, is this ethical?
Where did the guy
Wonder
go?
Woman is with this man because that's another man in the...
Right.
It's like, I don't know if this is good.
Yeah, that's the same. So I don't know if this is good. That's at its core. That's what we're concerned about.
Yeah.
Who are we? Yeah. Who's that guy?
Nice. I like that. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, kind of scraping for things, I think, but
no, I like that. Those kinds of scenes occur in a lot of movies, especially like possession movies.
Oh yeah.
Or
hey, yeah.
And right, so if someone's possessed, who are they? Yeah. Anyhow, so
That's
not a deep movie,
No.
and it doesn't really address either of those philosophical concepts very well. But that's what we had.
I like that.
In terms of ethics, like the question, should we, if we can do it, should we do it? Mm-hmm. Is an ethical question. Like we're, as of whatever you say, what do you say? As of time of recording, is that the... Yeah. As of time of recording...
Because people will be listening to this years into the future, and they need
This is going to be an artifact. At time of recording, we're on the cusp of sentience. Like, we're right here in terms of AI becoming
AI. Okay.
sentient. Should we? Like, just because we can, should we? Or cloning was the big one in, like, when I was growing up. Like, when Dolly the sheep was cloned, should we?
Yeah.
So this movie's got a lot of should we. Like, the quantum realm, should we?
See, because there's an interesting... The southern guy, whose name I've forgotten, but...
Goggins.
He wants the quantum realm for its resources.
Oh, I thought he wanted to weaponize it.
Oh, I thought it was just, I don't know.
I didn't really
Maybe they're
care
one and
at
the
that
same,
point.
I suppose.
Sure.
But I think that would be true. It's like, I don't know, back to the ethical. Is that, you don't live there, it's a thing that exists.
Sure. And if there is a society there,
Yeah.
is it ethical because we can reach in and take their stuff? Should we? Yeah. It's the same question ethically that underpins like all wars, just like everything, like protection rackets, any of that, drug pushers, because we can do it, should we? And usually I think the answer is no.
You mean like in Jurassic Park?
Right,
You didn't
sure.
ask if... Well, what does he... Oh, man, what does he say? Just because you can, you don't... Doesn't... Or,
Right.
Man, what is the line? You're too busy wondering if you could. You didn't stop to ask if you should.
Yep, that
Something
is the
like that.
ethical question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So, again, here I feel like this movie doesn't do a very good job addressing that.
Yeah.
But we do leave the movie... At least we should have left the movie with a sense that maybe we shouldn't be screwing around in the quantum realm. Instead of that, they immediately go back in for some reason, which he's got this little Ghostbusters trap, and he goes in there and captures the healing
Whatever.
power, whatever he calls it. Oh my.
And then they get dusted.
And Ant-Man is hopefully there forever. And we don't have to watch a sequel, but we do. So, anyhow.
Yeah, there's another one.
That's all I got.
Nice.
I don't have a dessert even.
Yeah, dessert of the room. I don't know.
Do they go to... the restaurant. He, like the bad guys, he owns a restaurant. And he's eating a meal there when she first shows up.
There's some giant tomatoes that get squished. And he, at the end with the truth serum, it's like, and I have had, or I've done like health code violations that will astonish you.
That scene was awesome. That was really cool.
Yeah.
So I guess my closing remarks are: this is a movie.
Yep, that's it. The end.
Thank you.
Just joking.
We appreciate you listening.
This is a movie. What?
This is a movie that has scattered moments of, I don't want to say greatness, but really, really coolness.
Yeah.
Scattered in an ocean of, sludge or something.
Yeah. Didn't remember lots of this movie rewatching. Like, oh yeah, then this happens.
Yeah. So there's a number of shining moments and shining elements.
Yeah.
And then the rest is just kind of crap, in my opinion.
I still had fun with it. Our next movie is Captain Marvel.
Okay.
And we're going to have a special guest.
Oh. Who?
Donald. Mr. Donald.
Is that one of your friends?
Yeah, he's one of my friends. And he's never watched this one. He's
he's another first timer?
He's a first timer. No, but he's seen every other one. It's like, I need Captain Marvel. Well, anyway.
We'll get there.
There are one or two things that were said on the internet when that movie came out, and one or two things that other people still continue to say about it, even to this day, after all this time. And maybe we'll get into that, or maybe we don't want to touch that stuff.
So apparently, problematic movie.
I wouldn't. No, it's not problematic. It just made people mad for some reason, and
cool.
And then it's the creme de la creme.
Endgame.
Yeah.
Nice.
But then it's the next Spider-Man is technically the last on Phase 3. So there's 3 more movies in Phase 3, and then everything else is Phase 4.
And then,
Which-
so after Spider-Man, we'll do another one of my movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ant-Man, though, will get a third. Ant-Man and the Wasp will return, with the question mark.
What's the third one called?
Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
Oh. That's a very quantum-y title.
Oh, do we have time? Can I show?
Oh
I want
my.
your live reaction to something.
Is it the Quantumania trailer?
No,
Oh,
even better.
Quantum. Get out your quantum cell phone.
Okay, so I'm gonna get Jason's live reaction to the Ants promo with Michael Douglas and
Like
Paul
the
Rudd.
movie?
This was for the first movie.
Oh.
And I was gonna have your reaction on it in that episode, but then I forgot. This is a real commercial that really existed on TV.
Wow, with that lead up, it's going to be great.
I know. Okay, hold on. So
if you want to view this, I guess go to YouTube. What the heck? What the flip was that?
Ants. It's just Michael Douglas and Paul Rudd just like
Clapping.
slapping their leg and going ants. Isn't
Wow.
that amazing?
No.
Oh, that's the best. Anyway, that's
Okay.
that's
I mean,
all-
I feel like that encapsulates it right there. That's what you can expect.
ants. Anyway, thank you so much for listening.
Indeed.
Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe. We are on everything, basically.
Pass the word.
Thank you so much for listening, and remember to think critical.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
we love you.
We do love you.
Bye.